Today's lesson is going to go about footprints, not actually food from food, but from feet. not actually sure if I'm writing it correctly. I think it's footprints with a T instead of a D, but doesn't matter. And we have a lot of them. One of them are voids, and the other one we actually use every day. Those are for value gaps. So voids are when markets are actually ranging, and the market is actually ranging. Once it starts ranging for a side part and it takes out a high and it starts moving rapidly and it makes this kind of gap right here in between, the market tends to come back to somewhere. Now, almost everybody believes that the market will do this, hit it, and then move away from it. Now, what's actually true is 80% of the times we actually have a candle right here above it, like a color. So we actually have a candle right here that was created, and we have a candle just below it. So these two candles have a gap inside. So you can call that a void, just a gap, like you want to. Now, where did the market go? It doesn't go from here. Actually, the market continues to go almost to the top of that candle. And once we are at that candle stop, then you have actually that optimal entry price, where then you will see a shift in the market back down to the liquidity where it wants to go. So this is those voids. In the market, you will tend to see them often. You have them like everywhere. Once we start rallying very fast, we have opening voids. Here we have one. And the market tends to go always back into those candles. So we have here one. Look, it filled up the full candle body to the top. There is one right here on 15-minute based. Now you can choose to put your entry on that gap, or you can be patient and see how high it goes. And it normally fills up almost a full candle, and we actually did fill it fully up, and then we saw the reaction off of it. Now the other one that I'm talking about are for value gaps. Where's my drawing? Here it is. And for value gaps are actually the same as unbalances in the market. And what do? They have candles. And three candle pattern actually it is formed with. So we have one, let me draw it upside, second one. You always need three candles with a value gap, otherwise it won't work. So what is it? Candles always have wicks. I'll move this one a bit on the side. And the space between those two wicks, actually right here, those are called value gaps. And you can trade off of them. Those two wicks with an unbalanced or value gap inside, these wicks cannot touch each other. If they touch each other, we don't have a value gap. This is where we traded off today too. So we traded off of a value gap. Which one? Actually, this one, right here. On the other side, we had a 30 minutes and hourly value gap that was tapped. And I was trading off of this one, expecting the market to take and to go back to Asia high. Now, you can see here, we had a gap. What happened? We filled the candle to the bottom. You will see this come back in the market too, those voids. Now, this was a retracement, so I'm expecting here to let the market move up back to the highs. For value gaps, you can find them always everywhere. But together with your Fibonacci tool, you actually will know which ones are better to take and which ones are less good to take. Just because if you take that Fib tool, you can draw a range, we can say we're at that 7-8 level, and we can continue to the direction where the market wants to go. You always have to find per value gaps that are most valuable together with confirmations of your ranges. So the same for this one. So say that we had that range, moved down, we came into a fair value gap, nice 7-8 between those two, and then the market started rallying. What kind of trade would you take then? That's that continuation trade, what I'm doing every day with all of you guys. Stops at the high, because that would be it. Target would be, of course, first this, and then even lower. You can trade this straight off a 15-minute. If you go lower in time frame, you'll probably see a change in character a little bit sooner at this area where you can jump into. So those are voids and gaps. I would recommend for all of you to go find them and actually see which ones are more valuable and which ones aren't. And set them in Discord. If you do, I could go over them for you and watch together with you which one are spotted good and which ones aren't, so that you can actually improve to see which ones are better.